we go.
Talking about what we talking about. I can do this all day. What we talking about? What we talking about? What we talking about? I ain't feeling what you saying. What we talking about? From time to time, every set of brothers argue. You gotta listen in to catch a glimpse here from our view. I finish every debate that I'm in. Gonna start it up in time tomorrow. We run it again. Ain't no stopping us. What we talking about? What we talking about? I can do this all day. What we talking about? What we talking about? What we talking about? I ain't feeling what you saying. What we talking about?
All right, we back with another episode of Art Brothers Podcast. Yeah, man, you can go ahead and turn it down. We online. Anybody they can't really, only can hear us when we're on the podcast. They can hear that part, but right now, we're not all in the same room, but we're still doing it. We're back for another episode. I think D just stepped away, but Ray, how you doing today?
I'm good, bro. Riley had a tennis tournament this morning.
How she do?
She won the first match, bro, and it just sometimes you run against a buzzsaw, dog. And one of the little girls she played, she was cold, dog. I ain't gonna lie to you, dog. And she lost that one 6-1. They played best, first to 6. And then it's just the mental mistakes. The little girl. So that age at 12 and under, they call their own outs, ins. They keep score their own points. So the young girl that was playing, she was called a few of the hits out, which we all saw was in. Riley kind of got frustrated, and I was telling her you can't get frustrated to the point where it throws you off your game. But she's young, she's learning, and I just love the competitive spirit that she has. She's showing the emotion, and that's what I want to see from her, man. But it didn't go like she wanted to, but you got to keep going, bro.
How did she do? You talked about the wins, though. How was the win?
So the win, she won 6-2. She came out great. She did her thing. I was like, all right, bet we on it. And then, like you said, you just get that adversity, dog, and sometimes you just don't rebound from it. But that second match, she just the little girl I think she was just better than Riley. Like you can just see it, just from the ground strokes. Just the serve was stronger, and and it's okay, right? Like you get in what you put into it, and talking to the little young girl, dad, she trains 4 or 5 days a week. She's always in tournaments every weekend, and you can see it, right? Like so it's nothing wrong with that. But the other 2 matches, I felt that she could have won, but she beat herself. But emotions, man. But she'll be all right, man. I just like to see the competitive fire that she's pissed that she lost.
That's good. So, but you see the measuring stick. That's what you're trying to tell us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I work to do.
That's what's up, man. Well, congratulations to Riley for winning her first match. Yeah. Give her some love for that. A round of applause for that. Win her first out there. That's really good, man. We seeing so many different things going on with the young ladies and gentlemen in our friend group here. They're growing. They're getting better. And we love just seeing them just express that hard work and talent. So just like we got to talk about the professionals that have been going on for the last couple of days, let's get into it. Let's talk about last night, Denver against Minnesota. We got to always start off with a recap. I kind of said it through the text message. I think they're going to win both games in Minnesota.
Think so?
I don't think I said it. I think they're going to win both games in Minnesota. But let's start off, D, since you walking around. Give us your thoughts on what you saw last night in that game.
I saw a different kind of Denver team. I saw a team that knew they had to win last night, and if they didn't, it was going to be like a gentleman's sweep. But I think they came to play. Murray came. He started out hot. He caught a lot of flack for what went on in game 2, with the pad and the towel throwing it at the refs. But they came out focused. I mean, Joker is still kind of struggling, with dealing with, people coming at him from different ways and the length that they have on Minnesota team. But, Murray came out. They played a different kind of basketball. They was more of the aggressor last night than Minnesota was. And I think once they got down, Minnesota got down, they knew it was just a done deal. It was an off night. Denver came to play. They played well, but they didn't play well enough. They missed a lot of shots. They started, what I'm saying? So it was just one of them nights that Denver, they were focused. And Murray was focused. The bench, the role players was focused, and they just took over. They just took over the game. They took it to them. Now, this is what's going to be interesting is, can Minnesota refocus and get back to what they did, get back to the basics of what won them games 1 and 2. Because if they don't, then Denver is going to continue to come at them the way they've been coming at them. But I still think Minnesota can still win the series, but they're going to have to get back refocused to what they did in game 1 and 2.
Yeah, for me, man, it came down to Murray finally having a signature Murray playoff game. Yeah, with the Lakers, he hit 2 game winners, but he's just been struggling with, overall from an efficient standpoint. And even in the first 2 games with Minnesota, he's been struggling with his shot. And get it, Minnesota has a lot of big players from a guard standpoint that can throw at Murray, right? Same way they can throw a lot of bodies at Jokic. And I think that was the key when Murray got going, and then Michael Porter Jr. was big. Like, you got Joker, Murray, and Porter, all 3 giving you 20. And then when you chip in with Aaron Gordon giving you 13, KCP giving you 12 with his good defense, that's the Denver team I think we all been wanting to see all playoffs. And I think, honestly, this is probably the first game they really all put it together. And for Minnesota, you can't have Karl-Anthony Towns giving you 13. That's not going to work. 14. Then Mike Conley, he kind of gave you what you got, but AntMan giving you 19, it's not going to work. Especially when you got the Nuggets big 3 kind of doing their thing. But Murray woke up, and we'll see if come tomorrow, can Murray keep it going? Like, that's the key. Like, because Denver don't have a chance if Murray just don't get going. And he got going last night, which was key for him.
Minnesota in trouble, man.
You think so?
I told y'all, like, I wouldn't be shocked. How everything's an anomaly, right? We all look at life like it's an anomaly, and we watched those first 2 games in Denver, and that was just one of the poorest performances I've seen of a championship team with the caliber that Denver has, the talent, the ability, the size, the skill set. Like, you don't see a opponent like Denver crumble and get punked the way they got punked the first 2 games. Mm-hmm. Now, yeah, well, they've called the game a little bit more physical in game 1. And I mean, in game 1 and 2, yes. Yes, they were. But I'm not sure if it wasn't just more on the fact that Murray's was playing awful. That's the reason why they looked so bad. I mean, Murray's playing awful. Like, he was, and to me, he is the key. Because Joker gonna give you the 20, 25, and sometimes 30. He gonna give you the 12 rebounds. He gonna give you the 5 or 6 assists. It's really between, to me, my personal opinion, is between Murray playing really well and then KCP hitting good timely shots. Because Porter's shooting the ball well. What's his name's playing great defense. Yeah. It's just about those 2 guys. Joker got to keep playing, keep doing. He dominated the paint last night. And Murray played like he's supposed to play and played well in the first half. That was the key. Start off the game. That put pressure on them. Minnesota now is not playing an uphill battle. And I'm watching this team, and I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, it looked like a totally different team. They're going to win this series. It's going to go probably 7. I do think they're going to win Sunday. I really do. I think they're going to win Sunday. I think they're going to go back to Denver. It's going to be 2-2. I think they're going to win in Denver. And game 6 is going to be a toss-up.
4 out of 5, huh?
So you also notice that it ain't just about Anthony Davis. I'm going to tell you somebody, to tell you how I knew last night they were going to lose, me and the Timberwolves. When Cat came out shooting those threes, I like they're going to lose.
He fell in love with it.
2 threes. I like, it's over. I like when he hit the first 2.
Oh, you know, it was hot.
Over.
Yeah.
Over. I was like, oh, he's going to keep shooting threes. Like, he's going to shoot 3 for the rest of the, he's going to stand on the perimeter. And he's their best inside player. Yeah, he keeps the floor spaced out, but he's their best inside talent. Gobert's only going to put ins and layups. That's it. So it's like now you got to go off of that. And then when the 2 bench guys, when McDaniel and the other kid wasn't hitting shots, I said they in trouble.
Yeah.
I didn't care. Anthony Davis could have put up 40 last night. They were gonna still lose.
But Towns can't just get 7 shots though. Like if Mike Conley get more shots than you, that's not a good record.
Just because they coming at him, because all he's gonna do is stay at the 3-point line.
Yeah.
And if he tries to drive, he gonna get a foul trouble because he really ain't got a lot of movement.
Yeah, because like you said, them first 2 shots he hit, I'm like, okay, he hot tonight. But then it's just like, and it's I get you a big man that like to shoot threes, but you got to get in that post every now and then, bro. You got to get to that mid range. You got to get to certain spots on the floor and make those same kind of shots. And I think that's what happened to him. He fell in love with the 3. You know, Anthony Edwards only scored what 19. You know, he has to get 25 to 30. Yeah. I mean, he just got to get 25 to 30. And like you say, them other guys, them role players, they're gonna have to get buckets as well. But you can't just sit out there on the 3-point and thinking you're gonna beat Denver, because if you're not making them, and like you said, Porter Jr., you know, all of their role players, KCP, you know, them guys who coming off the bench for Denver, if they get going with the Murray, and that's gonna be even a bigger problem with Minnesota. So yeah, Cat he gonna have to do inside and outside. You can't just live out there all day.
KCP ain't even playing well yet. He's playing great defense for the most part. He ain't shooting the ball well. Right? Yeah. So that hasn't even got into the equation yet. Right? And then you got what's that coming off the bench? He's playing pretty decent. But
Reggie
Jackson, he's playing better. He's playing good defense. He's playing good defense, but he's starting to hit his shots. Their bench is starting to come together now. I just feel like that's the problem. You're gonna have a lot of issues, and I just don't see where when the rubber meets the road, how they gonna stop it. I just thought the first 2 games was just like seemed like they were in some type of championship hangover, and they were playing the same way they were playing against the Lakers. But Minnesota got better firepower, so you're not gonna be able to play that like that the entire time. But this game, this series, this game, and the next game, I think you're gonna see the real different team.
But I think if Ant can just not settle for the 3, took 8 shots, was a 3 for 8. Like you just don't settle. But if he's attacking, forcing Denver to rotate, I still think Minnesota just too much to handle, dog. But the key, like we talked about it on previous shows, it has to be Karl-Anthony Towns. Like stay out of foul trouble, mix your game up. Doesn't matter if you're hitting a 3-pointer, but if you can get down there, get Jokic in foul trouble, or Aaron Gordon to get deep into their bench, because they don't have no size outside of Jokic and Aaron Gordon, right? Like so, like attack the paint. Jokic ain't no shot blocker. Like that's their recipe, and that's how they beat them in Denver 2 times. Attacking that paint,
attack a paint,
kicking out for 3s.
You can't attack a paint when you're down 20.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But if you're selling for jumpers, and missing, Denver gonna get the rebound and we're running.
And that's what got them in trouble early in the game, shooting all them 3s. And when they got down 20, you got to really shoot. You put yourself
just to try to get back in it from a number standpoint, 3 for 2. But that's not that game, right? It's not like Denver is going to beat Minnesota at the 3-point game. That's just Denver don't shoot a lot. You got to attack Denver at their heart. Make Jokic play defense, attack the rim, and push the pace, man. That's their key. They can't beat Denver shooting a ton of 3s and bricking them. Like they're just not gonna win like that.
Bro, they came out, and like I told you, if Jamal Murray steps out there and establishes the pace, plays his game, they're going to win. I mean, he is also he tore him a new asshole last season. Mm-hmm. So if he is committed to playing and attacking, not jumping in the air, throwing the ball, not making those error passes, and being not worried about them playing him so aggressively, but let their aggressive nature use that as a strength, and and get them in foul trouble early. If he does what he did yesterday, it's going to be 2-2 in a matter of a couple of days, and tomorrow it's going to be 2-2. And I like everybody thinks it's an anomaly. I'm telling you now, it isn't. I think this is what Denver's. This is the style of play they got to play. Ant gonna be Ant. Ain't Michael Jordan. Let's stop saying this. I don't want to hear that shit no more. Like I'm tired of hearing like he's like, yo, like
he say the next coming, dog.
Last year, the year before that, they got beat by the Grizzlies, and this is not a knock on AntMan. I think he dude is incredible. Yeah, he may be the face of the NBA, but it's about 8, 9, 10 dudes can be the face of the NBA at this point. Like this is a lot of people who've had success. Jason Tatum.
Don't even talk about that dude.
I'm just saying a lot of dudes can be in that lineup. People they skip over SGA like SGA a bum.
Exactly.
Like a lot of players can do that. But last time I checked, we looked at the Timberwolves smoking the Suns. Like the Suns was really all that. Like they were a team that was up and down all season. Injured all across the board. Let's see what they look like when they got Budenholzer. I think it's the coach name now. Yeah, the Budenholzer for the Bucks. An offensive coach who understands how to put a system together for all the players. Let's see what they look like next year. We forget KD old, man. We act like KD's like 25. KD's 30 years old. And been smoked the last 3 playoffs.
Yeah, boy, been smoked since the Warriors fucking last championship.
Oh, he got swept. Now we gotta remember the Bucks series went 7 games.
Yeah, that foot on the line. That foot on the line caught him.
He lost to the Bucks in 7 at home. People forget that the air balls he was shooting in overtime. Mm-hmm. At home, he lost to the Bucks. The next year, they played the Celtics. They got swept.
Yeah,
and they got put out by the Nuggets last year in 6. No, we act like KD is the basketball god. Like he great, but man, come on, man. KD is on the back 9, not on the front 9. So let's so yeah, you beat KD, you beat an undersized Phoenix team. Your strength was their weakness. They're small and can't play up front, and you beat them with it. But now you play a team who understands what their strengths are. So we'll see. But what I saw last night, I think they're gonna do the same thing on Sunday.
I think Ant play better though.
Good.
I think Ant play better. They're at home. I think they'll play better.
What's that gonna do in the game?
I think it's gonna be a close game tomorrow.
It's gonna be closer. It ain't gonna be no blowout.
I don't say it's a blowout. I'm just saying whether he plays well or not, I don't think that's gonna change the
outcome.
The outcome. Because it's really about Jamal Murray. It's about if he plays well, then they gotta start adjusting to him. And then that's when
Joker gonna take over.
Catch him with them floaters in the lane. He gonna get in the post. Like when he started doing that, they unstoppable. Now you got sagging. Now Porter gonna get the wide open 3. Now KCP's around. Like KCP shoot the ball sometimes. Like just understand that you got the open shot. Those are the things, man, I'm seeing. That's what I'm saying. So man, let's move on, man. Let's talk about the Mavs versus the Thunder. Game is actually coming on today too. Let's talk about what we saw in the first 2 games, though. Like right now, how's y'all feeling about this game, this series going so far between the 2 being at that 1-1? Ray, start us off.
Man, I just like the length of OKC, man. When you got the Williams brothers, you got Shea doing what SGA doing, Giddey doing what he's doing, and Chet just controlling the paint. You know, he's really frail, but he's still doing his thing on the boards and blocking shots. I think the length of those guys are giving Luka trouble, even though, you know, they bounced back and split in OKC. They got the game in Dallas tonight. But I just like OKC, man. They're young. They battle-tested, bro. They're hungry. And people are counting them out because they haven't had the experience. But the first 2 games have definitely been competitive. And I think OKC bounced back and get back home court today. I like what OKC doing.
Oh man, this is a great series because you got both of the teams are young outside of like Kyrie and a couple other players, but both teams are young. Both teams are real gritty. You got a lot of stars or up and coming stars. You got SGA, who like arguably should be the MVP of the league. I mean, to go from not making the playoffs to first in the West, and that's my thing, the West. And everybody considered the West the better conference, the tougher players, all of that, the West. And he did it. And he brought his team along with him. So I think this series goes 7. but I like this series. I like the matchups, and these are going to be to cover the two of the teams on down the road that's going to be at the top of the West, because SGA ain't going nowhere. Dort, all those guys play tough defense. They got a good mixture of players who know their roles, who know who they are, and the roles that they carry on. I think Kyrie has to play better today. I mean, he didn't have a great game the other night, so I think if he comes with his A game and then Luka continue to get better outside of the injuries that he got going on, because like you said, everybody hurt during the playoffs, and you got to continue to play and you got to continue to perform when you're a superstar. So I think the day's game will be a good one. I think it's going to come down to the role players getting buckets, and that's basically whoever role players get the buckets. I think that's who's going to win this series. But I like the series, and I think it's going to go 7.
Shit, PJ Washington ain't getting 29 again, bro.
No, I'm just saying he don't have to get 29 again, but I'm just saying if he's consistent of getting what he's getting, and SJ continue, and Giddy have to get to that double figures, because some days he'll get to like single digit numbers, but if he can get to that double digit, and Dort gonna have to score for him to be a starter. Yeah, you play great defense, but you have to give them something as well. And SGA, he gonna get his, and I think that trade of him, that is fueling him even more now than ever. And like you say, he's going to be one of the faces of the league. He's going to be one of the faces of the league. And I think that is what this is all about. And if he can get them out of this round and get them to the championship game, it's going to be real interesting.
Man, we're talking about this series, man. Like
I just said.
We talking about, so I mean, you didn't say nothing about Luka, Kyrie. Like, you know what I'm saying?
No, I did say Kyrie. I said Kyrie has to play better. I said Kyrie has to play better than what he played in game 2. Game 1, he had to do. No, but he didn't play well in game 2. Yeah, they won.
You don't need to play well. They win. He needs to play well enough for them to win.
Yeah, but you want your two superstars to be on the same wavelengths. Yeah, Luka played great, but you want your superstars to be on the same wavelength, because OKC ain't no bull jive team. You see what I'm saying?
I don't think that's the I get what you said. That's not. I wouldn't say that would be the issue though. Like, wouldn't it be the issue more or less on if you're in a situation where you're winning and you may not be playing your best ball, but you win, you just need to keep playing good basketball. You don't need to really be worrying about whether you're blowing, like you're scoring 40. If you play, he had like 11 assists, no turnovers, if I'm not mistaken.
But he only had 11 points. That ain't Kyrie.
He had 11 assists.
I get you. I get that.
Real high.
But you used to Kyrie getting at least 20.
But at least 20. They won by 10, and he had 11 assists and played great. He played decent defense for a change.
I get it. I'm just using Kyrie getting at least 20.
Are you about winning? Or you about him being?
I'm not mad. I'm not mad that they didn't win. I mean, I'm not mad that they, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying I'm used to seeing Kyrie getting 20 and still doing what he do. Like I'm used to him doing what he do, and he just didn't play well and they won. That's all I'm saying. They still won. Don't get me wrong. I just used to Kyrie playing better than what he played the other night. I get the 11 assists. Right. I get it.
Listen, I think he will. It will be a game where he has to play, has to score more. But if he can play decent defense, get his team involved, and score the basketball, I don't see an issue. Now, they're only a half a point favorite today. Something's up with that. You know what I mean? Being only a half a point favorite. Yeah. Maybe Luka's maybe not going to play. Maybe something going on. I haven't seen the open. I know he's on the injury
questionable
report.
List.
Right, he's on the injury report, but I don't think he's out. So being on a half a point, knowing that it started off at 3.5, is that a half a point right now? With Dallas still being the favorite, that says they feel a lot strongly about OKC, and this is a pick'em type game. So, both superstars are playing great. Luka's playing great. SGA's playing great. I just look at this and I see two teams that this can go down to the wire.
Yeah,
Chet's got to play better.
Definitely shoot better. Yeah, definitely.
Like I watched Chet. He's getting his blocking, but the way he seems like he's not playing with a lot of confidence. So he's not pulling the three. It's short every time. and he needs to hit that mid range. He has to play better basketball. For them to win the series, he's got to play better.
This is first playoffs, right? Because he was hurt last year.
I think they only in the play.
No, last year.
So this don't tell me. Okay.
Yeah, that Liz Frank, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they all were. I think they just did the play-in last year.
Gotcha.
So this year, they went from the play-in to the number 1 seed. So, but I'm looking forward to this game. Who did you guys have win the series? A couple of you guys had Dallas, right?
I got OKC.
Yeah, I think I had Dallas.
I think I had OKC. I think me and you had OKC, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's get into the Cleveland-Boston series. It's turnarounds going to Cleveland today, 1-1. What's your thoughts on the series and where it's heading to? Ray, start us off again.
I think Boston wins in 6. But for me with Boston, man, it's like Jekyll and Hyde at home. Like if you probably look at their last probably 20-something games at home over the last few years, they probably damn near barely 500. And it seems like every time they're home, that's when they're getting blown out. So watch they come out today, focus in Cleveland. I think they win tonight. But for me, man, it's just they have to get more consistent at home. Like you can't keep banking on you can go on the road and win games. You got the home court advantage throughout the playoffs for a reason. They got to play better. And, losing Porzingis is a big hole because now you got a guy that can stretch the floor, get inside, block shots. Look, Al Horford, I commend him. He's been in the league damn near 15 years or so. He's doing the best he can. But I think Boston eventually going to run into where they're going to miss Porzingis. And hopefully he's back in the next couple of weeks or so. But I think Boston definitely going to handle business today. Cleveland, they got to get Garland playing better. Like, for whatever, he's just struggling. He's struggling in the Orlando series. He's been struggling so far. Donovan Mitchell has been playing well, but they're another up-and-down team as well. They're missing Jared Allen big time. But I think Boston's just too much, man. I think Boston still wins it in 6.
Yeah.
And I think they win in 6. But the problem I got with Boston is the coaching. You sat there and watched your team shot 16 straight threes and didn't make one. You went 0 for 16 on threes. Bro, what are you sitting there watching? Like, you still just letting them shoot it?
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, man. I get that's your game, but what adjustments you gonna make if you see your team is not hitting the threes? And Boston got to play better defense. They got to play better defense. It's just sad, bro, that Mazzulla, I don't think he don't make good in-game adjustments. Hey, we're shooting too many threes. Let's change the approach. You got 3 guys that can get to the basket. You got 3 guys that really can get to the basket. And you still out there and you still go 0 for 16. What are you thinking about as a coach that thinks that's okay, we're gonna keep shooting them anyway? Come on, dude. That's why you lost the game. You went 0 for 16 straight. You got to make the adjustment as a coach to say, hold on, we need to go to the basket. Yeah. And Tatum got to play better. Like, he get on this thing, man. Tatum new team. Tatum got to play better. He has to play better. Brown does what he has to do, but Tatum, it seems like every year when it's time for this to put this Tatum to be that guy, he goes and creeps to the back of the line. You supposed to be the leader. You ain't showing it right now. You ain't showing it.
Yeah, I don't know if I have faith in Boston. I mean, man, they really do play down to their competition.
They do. I
mean, constantly. They play down to their competition every single time, and they lose these games. They should be winning with ease. Well, why would you lose to Cleveland, who really has one dominant scorer, and then Garland is struggling?
He playing bad, boy.
I'm just watching the game like, man, what are y'all doing? I mean, and then how many threes are you going to shoot? You shoot yourself out these games. And they don't even have any inside presence. I mean, Mobley's playing decent. You got Tristan Thompson out here.
Young Tristan.
I ain't having a resurgence.
The young Tristan.
Like, what we doing? I'm watching the game like, bro, come on, man. Tristan Thompson shouldn't be doing this to you. Like, I just don't understand why they struggle so much against certain competition. They lost that game against Miami and they should never lost.
Yeah, but it's something about at home.
Too, it's such a rare occasion to watch a team struggle who has all the talent and should be blowing teams out, has blown majority of teams out this season, but yet are losing to opponents that they should be dominating. It's hard to figure out. If Cleveland wins today, that's a lot of pressure on Boston.
Yeah.
They will have to figure it out at this point. Like, what are we doing? And if Boston lose, if Boston don't do anything to get to the finals, I don't know if that coach can survive.
Yeah,
I think he gets fired.
I think
he gets fired day one.
Gets fired, but them Wolves gonna start calling at some point.
Playing.
Because you can't keep getting to the close to the promised land and not get there, and then not provide, not give, at least get to it. Being that your predecessor got to at least to the finals.
Mm-hmm.
Now you gotta you out here, you can't get past these teams that you know you should be beating, knowing that you lost to an AC last year,
and
now you playing this team. You have more talent in. I just don't know. And Tatum, man, come on, man. Like, Tatum's so frustrating. He still hasn't took that leap.
And that's the unfortunate thing. Like, we've tried to fast track a lot of cats to be the face of the league, right? Like AntMan. But that shit is hard. That's a lot on people's shoulders. And we thought Tatum would be that guy. Right? We thought Tatum would be that next guy to be up to say, you know what, lead a franchise, historic. He could be the face of the league. But it seems like when the moments are light, the moments are great, the lights are bright, he just be coming back to the pack, though. Just be an average cat.
Yeah. We got it. It's got it. Yeah, it's a fortunate situation, but man, like you gotta embrace it. You gotta embrace it. I mean, LeBron's not gonna be there forever, and LeBron ain't just saying LeBron. So you gotta embrace being that person, that man, that target, and want to enjoy the relish in it, and try to go in and dominate. So no excuses. No excuses. What you train for. You want to be that guy. Tatum say he's the best player in the league. Let's see it.
Sure,
yeah, he better get it together, because he's just too passive aggressive for me. And I think with him too, I think he lives on the perimeter too much. Mm-hmm. He lives on the perimeter instead of taking the ball to the basket. But Tatum was 6'10"?
He's somewhere around there.
So, bro, why you not going to the basket and pulling up over them guards? You sitting on the perimeter, you helping them out by sitting on the perimeter. So I'm just like, you can't be the best player in the league if you sitting on the perimeter every night, or just when you hit a couple of threes, you're just gonna stay out there. You're not gonna attack the basket. You're not gonna do certain things to get your team over the hump. So I don't know. He better get it together. Because like you said, if they lose today, that means that put them in a bad situation, because Cleveland gonna come to play. Cleveland coming to play. I mean, they ain't what they got to lose. Everybody expect them to lose anyway. So they might as well go all guns blazing and get it right.
And they can still win, but it just doesn't look the same. And
no, I don't.
That's the issue going to have. I think that's the issue. All right, so let's get to last night's game. One more game. Knicks, Pacers. The series is 2-1. Let's get into that. Let's talk a little bit about last night's game with the Knicks, man. I thought the Knicks had them. I'll tell y'all, because I'm the only person to pick the Knicks.
Yep.
Y'all all picked the Pacers. I was like, don't let these Knicks win tonight. It's over. I was about to text y'all. I told you it's over. The series is over. The Knicks gonna win, dog. It's over. And the whole city of New York would have went crazy.
Oh, they own one right now.
They ready.
Last night it have been OVA, like OVO. That would have been
they own one right now, boy.
Ooh, that one last night.
Boy.
That would have been ugly. The streets of New York would have went crazy knowing they only got one more game to put these boys away. But let's talk about the game, and D starts off on this one, man. Like, what was your thoughts on it when you see, because the way Indiana will pull away and New York will come right back. Like, give me your thoughts on what happened in that game last night.
Jalen Brunson tried to do too much. Down the stretch, I think instead of him moving the ball, and because DiVincenzo was hot. He was hot, and I think Jalen Brunson tried to put too much on his shoulders instead of because they moved the ball. Everybody was getting buckets. They was playing hard. They was in the game. But then when the game got close down the stretch, he tried to take all the shots and the ball stopped moving. And when you stop moving the ball, everybody know you're going to shoot the ball. Now, he did make a big three to tie the game, and I give him that step back three. But at the end of the day, dude, you take a wild ass three trying to pump fake and do whatever you want to do and then go to the ref and say the man foul you. I'm like, bro, keep the ball moving. When the ball was moving around, when New York was on offense, they got easy shots. They got easy shots because they tried to double him. He got the ball out of his hand. They moved the ball around, and they got easy shots. I just think Jalen Brunson tried to do too much, which cost him the game last night. It cost him the game. And I think that's where Tom Thibodeau got to let him know that, listen, you got other guys out there who were scoring. Hart was putting the ball in the basket. Like I said, DiVincenzo was hot. They were still getting rebounds. They were playing good defense. So I'm like, dude, sometimes you gotta create and let another man get the buckets to get this team over the hump. And I just think that's where they lost the game. Indiana, man, I don't know what it is. I mean, they got talent, but I just think the Knicks, from a defensive standpoint, is like light years ahead of them on defense. And they don't rebound. The Knicks play better defense than Indiana. They just play better. And Indiana gave up a lot of second chance points where they had the rebound or somebody dropped the ball go out of bounds. They had certain little things to go on that which kept the Knicks in the game. So if they can clean those things up, Halliburton is playing better, but they got to get the easy buckets. Siakam, he got to play better. He got to play better. He got to make free throws. He missed a couple of free throws last night that really could have put the Knicks away, but he just didn't do it. So I think if he played better, Halliburton continued to come along. The little point guard, he only had 6 points, but he had like 11 the last two games against Knicks, even though they still lost. He had double figures. He has to play better as well. I like, huh? Not Rudy, the black dude with the braids.
Not
McConnell. Number whatever his name is.
Number hard.
Yeah, yeah. And I think the other guy who he did a great job on Brunson. Even though Brunson still got his points, but he made him work for it. But Brunson will score, so he's going to get buckets. I just think Indiana has to rebound and not give up second chance shots. And if you take the ball out of Brunson's hand, you got to rotate fast enough because DiVincenzo is really killing them on that 3-point line.
Man, the Knicks are playing with house money, boy, with Josh Hart and DiVincenzo.
Yes.
Bro, them boys playing like they're back at Nova, dog. Like, for real, them boys, they playing some good ball. I mean, a great game last night, back and forth. Big shot by Neiman Hart to put them up by 3. Sometimes I think with Indy, bro, they play too fast. Like I get they trying to get shots up, get the threes up, but sometimes you gotta run a little offense, bro. And I think if you look at their rosters, they got more options to score than the Knicks do. To me, honestly, I don't look at Josh Hart as a scorer, just a very gritty player. DiVincenzo the same way, right? I don't look at him like he's an option for them to really get scoring. But great game last night, big shots, and I still got Indy winning in 7. But the Knicks are playing with house money. I ain't gonna lie, bro. And I wonder, playing all these minutes with Josh Hart, the injuries that they got, will it be enough to hold on to beat Indiana, bro? I just don't know. Like you got big boy out, Mitchell out, Randall out, Bogdanovich out.
Listen, as long as you got Brunson, got Hart,
DiVincenzo.
You got the inside play. Listen, they ain't worried about that. I'm watching the Knicks and I'm impressed. That's why I picked them to win this series. I just feel like at this point they're really all playing with house money, bro. They're playing now. Let's stop saying that. They're not playing house money. They want to win, but they have a good enough time to beat this team, Indiana. Now, when they get to Boston, I think that can be a little murky because one player is not going to beat Boston. But the way they play, the way they set things up for their best player, I do feel like they have a good enough team to win against
Indiana.
I do feel like that. Sorry, I do. I think they're gonna beat them in 7. I think they should have beat them if they were last night. They would have beat them in 5.
Now I do agree with you. I think the Knicks are they're mentally tougher. They're mentally tougher from a standpoint of in certain parts of the game, Indiana get erratic and the Knicks keep their composure. They keep their composure. And that comes with time. But Josh Hart done been around, DiVincenzo done been around. You know what I'm saying? Brunson, he done been on the Dallas teams and he done been around a little bit. But I think that's come from Thibodeau as well. You got to give him credit for all the injuries that he done had. He still have this team mentally focused. And like you just said, they want to win. And that's their focus. They don't care how they get it done as long as they get it done. And I think that's a big up to Tibbs. I mean, at the end of the day, they're professionals. Yeah, they done played a lot of minutes, but they still getting the job done. So at the end of the day, guess what? Big up to the Knicks.
But they gotta get every night. They gotta get 20 or with DiVincenzo or Hart like every night.
But guess what? You've been playing basketball long enough, bro. You got to get it done. You know this. You know this going into the series.
Like nobody would have thought losing all the scoring that they've lost and still been in a position to possibly win this series. I mean, commendo and shout out to the Knicks, bro. They rolling, dog. I ain't gonna lie.
And doing more than that, like I said, it would have closed them out last night. It'd been over in 5.
Oh, cool.
Oh yeah, and I'd have been over in 4. I think they would have swept them. I think they would have swept them.
They're doing more with what they have talent wise than Indiana has.
Yeah,
Indiana big shot by the young kid at the end of the game, but they were panicking.
Oh yeah,
it looked like it was going to be. If they had lost that game, they know the series is over. So, and just a simple fact, they're having injury problems. I mean, their best player was limping last night.
Halliburton got an ankle injury. Yeah.
Yeah, so he rolled his ankle. So it's nobody's going to be healthy right now as part of the season. Yeah. Brunson does have to have a better shot. Definitely need to have a better shot selection than what he did last night with that last second shot. I didn't care for it either. He says a poor shot. I agree. But overall, man, if the Knicks don't let these Knicks get to the Eastern Conference Finals. They're playing with house money.
Man, the way Boston played, shit, they might beat them in game like 7-game series. The way Boston
beat them. I just don't think Brunson being the main scorer. They would have to have a Randall there, somebody inside help, somebody can get in there and could give some inside scoring. But I didn't think they could score with Indiana, but I picked them because I thought they were just the grit of the team. I think they're gonna have low scoring games, play great defense, but they actually been scoring with Indiana.
Yeah,
and clearly Indiana plays no defense.
Zero pace up, bro. And
they have no like they play none, 0.
It's like and Carlisle has come from a defensive background.
Yeah, you don't look like it.
Yeah, just trying to get shots up in the first 10 seconds, dog. Like that didn't win with D'Antoni. So why is it gonna win?
Exactly.
Now?
Exactly.
It don't look like it. It is definitely struggle bus when it comes to defense. All right, man, let's get into what happened. A fair or foul question that we have on the table this week with Jimmy Butler and Pat Riley, making comments. We also gonna talk about what he said about Tyler Hero as well. But let's start with Jimmy Butler and what Pat Riley had to say about Jimmy Butler. Basically, paraphrasing, being quiet because we sitting at home, we're not playing in the playoffs. So, Ray, start us off with this topic. Like, when you heard Pat Riley's comments, what were your thoughts? And was you really for what he had to say, or did you think it was a situation where maybe Pat should have chose wisely with those words?
It's fair, bro. Like Pat from the old school. Like, what are we talking about? We ain't playing. Like you said, if you want to be on the court and talk, yeah. But Jimmy is taking off so much throughout the year, over the last few years we've been with Miami. Like, I get it when he play and they play well, they get to the finals. But just think if he played more, where could they be? They possibly could have a championship, just with better seeding, not always in the play-in. So I agree with Pat Riley talking about, bro. Like, dog, what are you talking about? If you playing, we would have beat this, and bro, shut up, bro. Stop it, dog. You're not. So I don't have no comment, no issues with Pat Riley talking about Jimmy Butler, bro. If you want to be the man that you say, you got to play more. Like, dude, you be taking vacations during the season. Like, taking all just because, though. Like, bro, and your team needs you. If you want to be an 8 seed every time, you're not gonna win no championship like that. It's just not gonna happen. You're taking the hard route every single year. Your best player always taking off. Yeah, it's all in line for me with Pat Riley talking about, though.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Like Jimmy, every year the past couple of years, he either getting hurt or ain't playing. And I'm just like, bro, you got to step up to the mic. You home. What good are you? I mean, you saying that, but you home. So at the end of the day, what Pat said, and I think Pat getting fed up too, because every time we get to this point, you go down. Now everybody else got to, we can't just keep going from the 8th seed and got to fight an uphill battle every year in the playoffs. We got to play in the playing game. We got to play the number 1 seed. We got to keep fighting and keep fighting and keep fighting. You're not going to, like you said, you're not going to win a championship like that. And I think that is where Jimmy Butler got to be more mature and realize, like, you know what, man, we got to find ways to get out of this 8th seed. We got to find ways as a team to be better than what we really are. And right now, I got to be better. If you the head honcho of the team, you got to be better. Because talking trash to the Celtics or whoever, then guess what? Ain't nobody trying to hear you. You're home. You home like us, watching it on the TV, watching it on the tube, or going fishing. You know what I'm saying? So he got to be better and more mature and make sure that, he's healthy for his team to get out of these rounds and probably win a championship. But right now, you ain't doing that.
Yeah, I wasn't happy with the comment because, he is sitting at home. But I do feel like, man, what's going to be the result of this? Is Pat really at that point where he's like, you know what? Let's move on from Jimmy. Like what what is him saying what he's saying? Is he saying that in front of Jimmy's face? That's what I'm trying to get to. Like, what's the point of him saying that if he's not gonna say it in Jimmy's face, where Jimmy needs to understand the situation here, then I don't know what is the point of that. So that's where I'm at with it. I'm like, okay, like, are you saying this in front of Jimmy's face? Are you telling him, is this a change? Are you letting Jimmy know, hey, we're tired of this? Jimmy has been injured a lot, but he did take him to the finals just last year.
Yeah.
Just last year, he was heroic. He beat the Bucks. He beat the Knicks. He sent both of those teams home.
I think Pat fed up.
So then, okay, is it about this season? Is it about last? What is the nature of this? Where are we going with this? That's what I'm trying to get to.
I think Pat wanted him to play more. Because, like I say, who wants to go from the 8 seed every single year to get to the mountaintop? And the chances you win a championship from the 8 seed, 7 seed, you're not winning none. You're not winning.
No, so let's start off with the play. Let's start off with the playing game, then the 8 seed.
Yeah, you're not winning no championship like that. And I think honestly, Pat Riley is the type of coach, player, or manager. I think he probably told Jimmy that to his face. He had that conversation with Jimmy. I really believe it. Pat don't strike me as the type of cat just talking in the media and don't come talk to you face to face. Or if you got an issue with Pat, and Pat will tell you probably the same thing he said in the media. I just think Pat that type of person.
Hell, he got LeBron them up out of there.
He got when Brian and when they got together, they wanted Spoelstra to go. Like, nah, he's your coach, right? And it's all been heard and documented. Brian didn't get his way like he normally probably would, and I think Pat is that type of person, bro. Like, this is what we got, bro. You need to get your shit together.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's all I'm looking for. If it's about that, be about that. Stand 10 toes deep on it. Yeah. Let everybody know that this is what this is about. But if it's gonna be on some back and forth, I don't like the way you acting and type of stuff, man. Let that go. Because that ain't doing nothing for the team. The team ain't gonna get better off of that. The Heat's not gonna win the championship off of that. And you gotta build some camaraderie, right? Like, you never know. Dame may still want to go to Miami, but if Miami's beefing back and forth, Dame going there.
Nah, he ain't going there.
He ain't going there. That's what you're gonna be on. So I just need to understand what's the ultimate goal of this. That's what I'm just trying to hear. I want to hear what's the goal of you and you guys going back and forth and having this little on online conversation. I mean, this conversation discussion where if you guys are not talking about this in person, you're not going to understand each other and get better. And that's where I think we're all trying to see. We were trying to see what's going to happen.
And Jimmy's a great player, bro. Like nobody will never take that away from Jimmy. When he plays, he bring Miami to another level.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, bro, like we can't keep fighting the uphill battle every single year. Can we get the 1 seed 1 year and take the home court all the way through?
Right.
Get a top 2 seed and go through the easy route. Like
Please make it easy.
Playing a top 1, 2, 3, 4 seed every single year.
Can't win like that.
It can't be like
we want to see what the Miami can do at full strength. But I also got to realize if I'm Jimmy, I also got to realize that as well. But if you Riley, do you want to keep paying him knowing that he's only going to play half to 3/4 of the season?
And I think that stems to his conversation because I'm sure Jimmy gonna want an extension this year.
I think that statement says that Pat Riley's looking for him to put up
or shut up.
Basically.
Mm-hmm.
You want a deal? You want $200 million? Can I get 70, 75 games? Can I
at least
out of you?
But they're gonna have to get another start on it with them though.
But dude, we've been talking about that for the last 2 or 3 years though.
But I think that's why they was pressuring to get Dame, and they sent Dame, and Dame went to Milwaukee. But I mean, if I'm Paul George, I probably would go there.
That'll be an interesting look.
You know what I'm saying? Because now you got 2 wings, you got a point guard, you got Hero. You know what I'm saying? That could help.
I think with Paul, at the end of the day, bro, these cats want their money.
Yeah.
And you can get 4 years versus 5 years, and that 5th year is probably $70 million. And I'll be with the Clippers and go home every year in the playoffs.
Yeah, for $70 million, yeah.
And I'm at the crib, but at the same time, Miami will be interesting. No state tax.
Yeah.
You got an organization that you could be one piece away from getting to the championship and making playoff run. It's something P gonna have to think about, though, honestly. But it's a lot of money with that 50 option, though. And I think that's why the NBA put it in place to keep these cats with their teams. Cats about their money, though. And I don't care. They want rings and championship.
But give me my money. $50 million, that's a lot of bread. Yeah.
They want that bread, though. They want that money.
All right, so let's talk a little about the recent MVP selection, man. So as you guys know, Joker just won his 3rd MVP out of 4 years. This is a 2-part conversation. One, what's your thoughts on him winning the MVP this season? And then the second question is, if you saw the conversation that Shaq had, and it's been reported to the news, Shannon Sharp and Shaq going back and forth about a lot of different things, and Shaq always bring on the fact that he didn't win his 2nd MVP due to Steve Nash. So let's talk about Joker first, and then let's talk about Shaq. And and how do you feel about him always bringing that up in these conversations? And he kind of threw some little shade at Joker for thinking that SGA should have won it. Maybe that wasn't probably the appropriate time to try to throw that out there. But let's talk about that. Let's talk about both ends on these things, right? Like, let's talk about Shaq first. About Joker first winning it. 3rd out of 4 was he most deserving. And then let's talk about Shaq comments. So Ray, start us off.
Yeah, Joker shouldn't have won it. I don't think he had a greater year than he had the past 2 or 3 years, 3 straight years, honestly. I know Embiid won it in between. He won after back-to-back. But I think, honestly, SGA had a better year. Like, yeah, Joker had, Mr. Triple-Double. He do a great job. 12 rebound, 13 rebound, 24, 25 points. But you have to take in consideration where OKC was the previous season to this season, being the number 1 seed. And we always talked about how hard the West is, how deep the West is, to be a very young team with lack of experience, no veterans on the team, and make the number 1 seed, and SGA had a banner year. You had to give the man the MVP, bro. Like, I don't get it, though. Like, what are the people watching, right? Are they just checking the ballot just because? But there's no way you can say the eye test that Joker had a better year than SGA. You can't say it. Even better year than Luka. Honestly, Luka had a bang out year, but when you're the 2 seed versus Dallas been a 5, I can get it from team success. But SGA, bro, to me, should have been and won the MVP this year. He had a way better year than Jokic. It shouldn't even been close.
Man, I think we fall in love with a person over years instead of doing it year by year. And
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. I'm like, if SGA, this guy has been putting in his work since he's been in the league.
Been working.
He been working. I mean, you take a team that didn't make the playoffs, but then you're first in the West, like you said, and everybody look at the West as the cream of the crop. The East, whatever. Okay, we know it's Boston, but the West, to do what Oklahoma City and to do what he did in the West, the way we look at the West as the cream of the crop, how can you not give it to him?
Yeah.
The dude averaged 30 plus points a game. What, 6 or 7 assists, 6 or 7 rebounds. Bro, like, and where's the other all-star on his team?
Thanks.
You see what I'm saying? Where's the other all-star? This guy is doing this night in and night out, and he's playing majority all the games.
Yeah.
He's not sitting out.
Winning.
He ain't sitting out. He's not, he doesn't turn the ball over as much. He got the complete game. So I'm confused. And I just think people, they don't promote the players who's in situations that, oh, well, it's Oklahoma City. You know what I'm saying? And I think if Denver, I mean, you see Denver and Jokic more than you see Oklahoma City. And I think that's what it comes down to in promoting who they want to be the best, who they want to win the MVP. It's like on the East Coast, you're going to see the Phillies, you're going to see Boston, you're going to see Cleveland, you're going to see those kind of teams. But at the end of the day, if you're saying who is the MVP should have been SGA for what he done this year.
Yeah.
And it should be it's year to year. And I'm looking like, yeah, Joker had a great year last year, but it's a year to year accomplishment. And I just think the writers got it wrong. But it is what it is. But I really do think the writers got it wrong this year.
Now the Shaq situation, Shaq just being bitter. Steve Nash, them 2 years, bro, Nash balled out, dog. Dog, the double with the assist, then the team success. Like that, yeah, it's easy for Shaq to say, oh, he was the biggest, the most dominant, put up the big numbers. But Phoenix, if I'm not mistaken, they probably was 1-2 seed. Them years he won MVP. Look, and Kobe could have had a great one the first year, I think, that he won the MVP.
Yeah.
And look, it's no easy pick every year. You can always pick the most dominant person, right? Giannis could probably, when he was in his little run, he could have won it every year. LeBron the same way, right? Like at some point you get voter fatigue, but you got to just reward the dominant of the season, and then you got to factor in team success, right? I think Shaq just being a little bitter, taking a shot at Jokic, complaining about when Nash won it, right? I get it, but Shaq, your time is over, dog. No need to be taking shots at Jokic. I get it, but nah, bro. Nash balled out those 2 years. Dog.
So, listen, I think there's some. I disagree with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Not the SGA aspect. It's most deserving. It could be Joker or SGA. SGA did not have individually, his team had a better season. I mean, individually, he may have a better season than Joker. His team success didn't. So I heard one of you guys say they didn't. They actually finished with the same record.
They number 1 seed.
They're the number 1 seed because of a ruling, but they finished with the same record.
And that ain't SGA fault.
I just said team success. They had the same record.
Mm-hmm.
One did not have a better record than the other team. So that's first foremost, right? And Joker was a major part of that team also having the same record as OKC. Do I think SGA averaging 30 points a game, really bringing his team from a play-in game last year to now number 1 seed? It should have been that should have been accredited a credit? Yes. Also, I mean, we talk about Jason Tatum, but he had a great season. His team was blowing out teams, and he didn't play a lot of fourth quarters. I think he was probably sat in more fourth quarters than any other team in the NBA this past season. And there's some other players that was deserving. I mean, Luka was deserving. Yeah. It's not leave out Luka. Luka deserved it. But we're talking about one player that really engineered a lot of different things. I can't discredit Joker to say that SGA was better. I just have to say that if you're looking at this season and both of them successful, you got to look at where they ended last year and where they ended this year for the regular season. That's the difference between the two for me, right? That's the separation part. Why I would have chose SGA, because last season his team was in the play-in game. Mm-hmm. This season his team's the number 1 seed. Joker won the championship. That team was really good. This season, they won the championship. I mean, they're the number 2 seed. They both don't have, and I don't know if you don't realize, they both have no all-stars on their team.
I think Murray could be. I mean, he's just hard being at the guard spot. But
is that he wasn't or he's not? And
yeah,
they both did not have an all-star in their team this season.
I get it.
So I can't say, honestly, that was a separator. And Joker had the same numbers he's had traditionally.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, you look, he's been consistent the last 5 years, very consistent. But at some point, bro, you gotta reward what OKC has been and what they're doing. If you take Jokic off Denver, is Denver still a playoff team? I think most people probably would say yep. Right? You take SGA off of OKC, they're in the lottery, guaranteed.
Okay.
Right, so it's like I get, people always say, what's the criteria, the most valuable? But you got to look at what OKC was in last year playing and the season that he had, and he's the head guy. Like, SGA should have got it, bro, honestly, though. Jokic was just Jokic.
I can't discredit what you're saying. I can't say, well, no, there's no way he should have got it. But they both had incredible seasons. Yeah. They're both teams had the same record. Their team both had no all-stars. I think Joker's stats was actually better than it was last year. So I can't discredit. Maybe they should have made him cold. I mean, I made it the first time ever. I think that should have been a part of this assessment. Yeah. I don't think one player should have won it. But
nobody would have had a problem with Cole.
But I thought Cole would have been better because they both had outstanding seasons. And if you're SGA, you're like, what else can I do? I took my team from last to first. Yeah. Because that's what they were last year. They were last, not at first. Mm-hmm. And so what can you do outside of that? But yeah. Now the Shaq situation, come on, man, Shaq. Shaq just be, I don't know what's up with Shaq, man. I don't know if he's going through that 50-year-old crisis.
Shaq bored, man.
I don't really know what's going on with Shaq in a lot of different ways as far as like how you handling his business. Maybe sometimes some guys just got too much money on their hands and they just bored. And, he got a 21-year-old girlfriend on the yacht. And you know what I mean? Like he just like Shaq, man, what you doing, bro? Like
Shaq in the DMs.
You sliding people's DMs and stuff. Like, man, you just got too much money. You got too much time. Like, man, like,
get some more games on it. They
used to have what happened to that? Like, it's like, yo, like you just got all this money, you trying to spend it, you trying to do all the different things, man, and you know what I mean? Like I said, you got the young girls with you, like, focus on. I mean, 21-year-old women, you gotta have some time. You gotta be focused on that, like because they like to talk at 21, so they only do two things at 21: talk and something else. That's it. So you got to be out in 21 years old. I mean, he definitely popping some blue pills. Ain't no way. Ain't no way at this age at 50. I think how old is Shaq? 50.
Shaq got to be 51.
No, what? No. Shaq was in the league when I was in middle school. If not, I was if I was in middle school, man.
No, Shaq brought 51.
Ain't no way Shaq 51.
Yeah, I mean, you almost 50.
Dog, listen, Shaq got to be about 51, 52, bro.
Shaq was in his 30s when in the mid 90s.
How old is Shaq, Ray?
I'll find out right now. Let's see. No, he old, dog. Like 52.
That's what I'm saying. 51, 52.
Man, Shaq, you gotta have Shaq got too much time on his hands.
Yeah, he doing too much. Like
everybody got mad at Shawnee when she said what she said, and then you see him on the yacht with the 21-year-old. And man, you got a midlife crisis, dog. You need to go figure it out.
I think that's what he's going through. I'm looking like Shaq.
No, you got all the kids, you got all the children, you got a child, and you got another child with you. That's your girl. You got all those kids in your house. Like you got
man,
that.
Shaq trip.
I think he took on the responsibility for his sister's children, which is committed.
I think so. Yeah.
That passed away through the cancer, so he took on to that. But you gotta set an example. You out there in the street. You need to be while you mad at Shannon. You need to be out there on the on the counter and talk about your problems.
I'm gonna gotta keep that boy more focused. Give him more.
Nah, he got Papa John's. He got Papa John's.
Yeah, he gotta give him
Papa John's. Yeah, he got Papa John's.
He got a little more time on his hands.
He got more than that. He got Reebok. He's a
Reebok. And he got Forever. And he got Forever 21. Yeah, he got all that. He got all of them.
Boy got money all day. Just the boy got money. But the boy got too much time on his hand. The man got too much. Like, come on, man.
And you mad with this man about something that happened down there 20 years ago, bro. Let it go. You didn't win it.
Doing diss records. You're not trying to do a diss record, man. Like, come on, man. You doing diss records. Diss records.
Hey, he act like he's still with the Foosh Nickens. You know what I'm saying? He's still with the Foosh. What's up, Doc?
Diss records against Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp like 55, 56. Yo. What's your expectations? Man, come on, man. Like, who listen to that diss record? You are not, and it's like I'm already annoyed that the game trying to do a diss record.
Oh, bro, game need to stop.
Come on, man.
Like, cut it out, bro.
And then you out here doing diss records, and you 55.
Boy, need to cut it out.
Who you serving for that diss record, bro? You gotta be serving like people that like people at 52. I don't know people that listen to diss records anymore.
For real.
People at that age, they had Curtis Blow in them. They were listening to stuff like that, man. They went through the cocaine era. I don't know how you be going through the cocaine crack era. You gotta worry about going out this. I ain't never heard nobody that went through the cocaine and crack era. You out here doing this record. Like literally, like he lived in the crack and the cocaine era. Like, why would you be doing diss records? Like, you made it. The crack and the cocaine era is where you made it through, and you out here doing diss records to Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp.
Out of all people.
Wasting time, bro.
I heard it. My sister sent it to me. I was like, I was super embarrassed. Like, that's somebody's father. Like,
too much time on his hands.
He got to find something to do with his time, man. That working at being on TBS, TNT, whatever. He need to take him some more of his time.
I know Charles Barkley had to call him. I'm Charles Barkley. I would have called Shaq. Like, what are you doing?
Imagine them boys on the phone, but I know them boy probably joked out.
I was like, what are you doing? I know because they be clowning him in the show, so he be getting mad. I know he probably call him like Shaq. Big fella, what you doing? His record? Come on, man. God.
And you know Kenny called him Shaq. Come on, Shaq.
That's just
what you doing, Shaq?
I know Ernie called him a diss record, Shaq. Back there in the back that day that you didn't want to come out. Like, come on, man. You gotta have
man.
Team class. Like, man, people don't even know what the hell you're talking about. Like, I know it. So we probably know it. But then a lot of people, they don't know what you're talking about, man.
Man, why is this dude doing this? Like what the hell? What is Shaq doing, man? Shaq, first of all, if I was Shannon, I would have never even responded. I'm like, whatever, bro. Because I'm like, dude, this happened almost 20 years ago. You didn't get it, so be it. Yeah. What? Just because you complaining now or saying something about it, it's gonna reappear in your house? Like, it's a done deal. Let it go. Let it go.
And the thing about it is that, and let's be being very transparent about this. It happened. It wasn't the same classifications, that they have today is not the same that they had back then. So maybe they have a coaching vote, and they register multiple things now. They have more than just fan vote. They are a coaching vote. They also do the players. So it's equated differently now. So he probably would have won 2 or 3 more. But then a lot of people realize Michael Jordan probably had 5. He probably would have won 8. Like
for real.
Like because of the fact that it would have been like they'd been like, hey, he's the best player. He is the MVP. It was a couple of times whether Shaq or Karl Malone who won one. Right. You know what I mean? Like that Shaq, that a lot of people felt like it was Jordan's. So
Jordan could have won every year if he wanted.
He could have won every year. Like, come on, man. We know Shaq. We know you were dominant. People who saw Shaq play know he was dominant, but it wasn't the prettiest level of basketball, and that's probably what happened. People just didn't like the way the basketball looked. It wasn't pretty basketball. He was bullying guys and running them over, and people just wasn't feeling it. And this is where they're at with that.
And it's not like Steve Nash wasn't deserving, bro. Like them boys put up big numbers, team rolling.
They were rolling at the highest scoring team. It was a beautiful band. It was a beautiful
basketball.
Yeah, basketball. It was a beautiful play of basketball.
Yeah, man,
it was just fast moving, quick. People just enjoy watching it. It was just different. So it's okay. It's okay that you feel a certain type of way. But let it go, big dog. Let it go. That's how we feel.
That's trying to be relevant, man.
Yeah, man. And the diss records don't do that. Don't do that, man.
That's trying to show his lyrical skills, man.
That's ridiculous. All right, let's get to the Suns. They just hired a new coach. So Budenholzer in, Vogel out. Ray started us off. Was that fair? Was that a fair justification to fire Vogel after one season and move forward with Budenholzer?
It's tough, man, when your expectations of championship, and I think they had a false sense of thinking they're going to win a championship this year. That's the only reason you fire Vogel, because you feel like we got 3 of the top maybe 20, 30 players in the league. We should have been better. Yes, you probably shouldn't have got swept, but I think Vogel deserved to at least give another season. That way he at least got the players, maybe make some free agent moves. But, you know, in today's NBA, bro, if the players don't want you, coach is going to be the first one to go. But hiring Budenholzer, yes, he's a championship coach, but I don't see him making the necessary adjustments in game, late game, to be able to win in Phoenix. Yeah, they'll win some games, but at the end of the day, you got old KD, a broken down Booker, and Bill. They're going to be in the same situation next year. So I don't think hiring Budenholzer really pushes the needle that much. Will they get swept in the first round of playoffs? Probably not. But I don't see them winning no championship with that core. So, yeah, for me.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I'm with you on that. I think Bud helped them better defensively, but the problem with the Suns was
Vogel?
Well, Vogel didn't do nothing defense. They lost how many leads they lost in the fourth quarter that put them in that position.
But they don't have the depth to play the defense. But Vogel's known for defense. Like even Indiana days, he's been known for defense. So I ain't gonna give you that one.
I'm just saying I was gonna get to that. I just think they gave up a lot when they got Bradley Beal, which killed their bench. And they could have kept CP3. They could have kept CP3 where Booker didn't have to play the point guard and be the shooting guard. And I just think that messed them up as well. I just think that when they got rid of all their pieces just to get Bradley Beal, who was broken down, who ain't played a full season and I don't know how many years, I'm just like, bro, y'all messed the team up. I think they messed the team chemistry up. And I think that was the biggest problem, because you didn't have role players. You didn't have people that can come off the bench and get you points. Booker had to play point and he had to play shooting guard. So it's a whole lot that was involved when they got Bradley Beal. I just think right now they're in the luxury tax. $150 million? That you got to pay 3 superstars and they're like $107 million in the luxury tax? That's a problem. And like I said, I don't think the dude should have been fired, but he knew what he was getting into. So as a coach, you're not going to turn down that money. You know what I'm saying? He knew what he was getting into. I just think when you have so many different personalities, especially with KD, and it's been reported that KD, you know, he goes off into his shell, don't talk to nobody. So that's another problem. So do you want to be there or do you don't want to be there? You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't want to be there, that means they need to move him. You see what I'm saying? And bring some people in who do want to be there. So I just think they got more problems than meets the eye. But I just don't think Vogel should have been fired after one year, bro. They at least could have tried to work it out at least one more year.
You know, I'm coming to the conclusion. I think I said it before. First of all, I think KD's demeanor kills the morale of teams. Like, you got to have a fiery person around him. You got to have a fiery person around him. And then you got to have a motivator around him because his personality is so bland. And I met him before. Nice guy. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. I think he's a very nice guy. But his personality is so bland at times. You need somebody who can motivate, can be around him that takes on that responsibility. The problem I noticed is that they're just not, like you just guys said, their bench was depleted. They have no size. They didn't, outside of 3 best players, they didn't have any real good shooters. Guys were more was gadget guys, you know, some 3-and-D guys, but they didn't have the players that they needed. They do have a couple of good wings. They got the guy from the Brooklyn Nets. They brought him over. He played pretty well. They got Grayson Allen. He played pretty well. But they need a couple more pieces, and I just don't have the pieces in their place. And they gave us so much for Bradley Beal. They gave us, man, why do you keep going? Like, were you just in the car? Like, where are you at now? Like, why? Like,
I'm in the garage.
House? Like, what is going on?
First of all, I had to do stuff, man. My wife came home. I had to move the car, bro. Relax.
Like, good. No, she made you get up and move the car immediately.
No, she was outside.
Get the shit out of my way.
She was outside.
Get up and move the car.
Shit out of my way.
Get up and move the car. That's why you put it on mute, because she came in and said, get up and move the car.
First of all, they were coming in. Her and my mother-in-law was coming in from the store. I was upstairs. They was coming in from the store.
Get that shit out the way, man. That was
by the way, you know better. You know you don't park
Whatever.
there. You know you don't park there.
Whatever.
It's all good, bro.
All right, man. So let me get back to it. Yeah, I feel like his person, he's not the greatest leader. So, and Booker, I think, can be part of irritant. I think people get annoyed with him because he speaks his mind. He does say certain things. Sometimes you got to kind of, you know, understand what when to say it. And Bradley Beal I think he was just trying to fit in, and maybe next year you'll see a different team. But hopefully all 3 of them work on their game, work with playing against each other so they can build some trust. Because I think they were missing trust this season too. But man, I just feel like they had to go with a new coach because Bud, let's call Coach Bud. Coach Bud is a better offensive mind than Frank Vogel. And I think that's what they're willing to go to. I think they made it bad. I think they felt like they made probably a difficult decision going with a more defensive coach because they're defensively limited. Yeah. Right? They don't have any size, so they basically at some point they said, hey, we need to just outscore people. And I feel like that's not Vogel's strength. And that's what it came down to. They had to move forward with somebody else because Vogel's strength isn't offense. And they struggle offensively. You know, I think the most damaging part was when KD said he didn't really know what to do at times. Like he didn't feel like he was being utilized correctly. That you knew Vogel was gone at that point. You know what I mean? So, you know, that comes down to it, but they gotta get better. They gotta get better. Teams are not getting worse. OKC's not getting worse.
How do you get better when you got 4 players making the type of money Grayson Allen you just resigned?
With no draft picks, by the way.
Yeah, no draft pick to get young talent.
Draft picks got to go to Houston, right?
Yeah, they be having them 3-team deals and like futures but like, how do you make your team better? Like, you're banking on KD, Bill, and Booker all staying healthy and making a finals championship run. That's what you're banking on. And over the few years, their bodies have not allowed them to do that. KD this year has been healthy, but the other two, it's not gonna work. It's not going. Their body just can't do it. And you need a point guard. Like you, it was nice when it was 2 years ago when CP was out and Booker was playing the point. He was rolling, and we was like, man, Booker's shining. It's not a recipe for longevity success.
Yeah, and I think Bradley Beal, bro, like he's done. I just don't see him. He just got his money. He's done. And like you said, when you don't have draft picks and you don't have a bench, they lost so many leads this season. They gave up like 18-point, 20-point lead, about 16, 17 times this season? That's a problem. Going into the fourth quarter, that's a problem. And that comes from Booker got to play on both ends of the well, he plays on both ends of the floor, but then you got him being the point guard and the doggone shooting guard. You got KD, bro. You wearing the dude out.
It takes a lot playing the point, bro.
Exactly. And when they go to the
every time you got the ball in your hands, got to facilitate everybody, every single play. It takes a lot out of you, bro.
And when they go to the bench, that's when other teams catch up because they know by the time they get to that fourth quarter, oh, we got them. We got them. And teams knew that. They just had to stay within reach to get them to the fourth quarter and then their legs are gone. Yeah. So, I mean, I hope Coach Bud can get them on the same, on the same plane, on the same sheet of paper. And can they get somebody like some role players to take less money to come in to fulfill those roles? When they do go to the bench, they still don't lose anything. And that's going to be big.
Man, I ain't taking no less money.
It ain't like they no championship caliber team. That's one or two pieces away. They got to the chip and lost.
True.
He went out in the first round.
True.
Bro.
I'm not taking no less money to play for a team like that. Sorry. Not happening. Not happening. Not playing. When your payroll is what? I think it's like $400 million.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not taking less money to play with them. And they already re-sign Grayson Allen?
Yep. Yeah, they signed him to a 73, 4 years, $70 million.
So you already get up all the money. So nope, not coming on no homeboy discount. Not gonna break my pockets. Not me. No, not me. Not when everybody
trying to go to Phoenix, Arizona, dog.
Mm.
The old people retire.
Is there a tax write-off in Arizona? Is there no state tax?
I think it's no state tax. I think a lot of old people go to Arizona to retire.
Yeah.
Not doing it. Not happening. By the way, OKC's winning. Just want to tell y'all that.
Yeah, OKC, they playing well.
OKC. All right, man. So I think that's our last discussion for today.
Good
one more time. Let's get one. Let's dive into this one really quickly. We can get out of this. There's been a lot of conversation about NBA players. NBA players crossing over to the NFL. What's your thoughts on it? Like, what's your thoughts? Do you start off with that? Like, what was your thoughts on that discussion about Austin Rivers? And do you think that's even possible for those guys to cross over and have 30 players come from the NBA to the NFL and be successful?
I mean, I think a lot of those guys who playing in the NBA now has some, football history, but it's a hard sell for me because you've been playing basketball. Now you turning your jerseys. Now you're throwing on helmet and shoulder pads. So now you just jumping right into it. And for some of them, I think it's hard, bro. It's hard. It's even hard for dudes who done played college done play football all their life to make it in the NFL. So for you to just leave basketball and then go jump straight to the NFL without any college, without any, preparation from that stage, I don't know, man. I don't know how long you will last. You probably can do it, but depending on how long you last, I think it's going to be tough. It's a tough sell for me because you're going from not wearing pads to not throwing on a helmet and shoulder pads. It's tough. It's tough. And it's tough for people who, like I said, coming from college and going to the NFL and who done played all their life in that circuit. And now you're talking about you leaving the basketball court to go play football. It's tough. Tough.
I think when he put a whole number on it, I think that's when people had a problem with it, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot of cats that played 2-3 sports in high school, you know, and then had to pick a sport going to college because it's hard to play both. And we've seen it. How many times cats that played 2 sports in general, whether it's baseball, football, Bo, Dion, like it is hard to make that.
But it's slim pickings though. But it's slim.
I think when he said 30, you scratching your head like, yeah, bro. I don't think I can get 30.
I don't agree with you because I don't think most from what I have seen, right? A lot of these basketball players tend to start playing basketball at a youth age and they're playing AAU. And a lot of it is because of a lot of they start at a young age. So they're competing at that age, but they're not like football players and baseball players tend to play multiple sports throughout youth, throughout middle school, and then get into high school, and then some may play 2 sports in college, some don't, right? A lot of guys they be talking about when they always talk about like Jimmy Graham or guys who play basketball in high school, and then basketball in college. And then went to the pros, then the NFL. They always try to talk about them two as they're the only two that translate, but it was a little bit different. I think both of them had extensive high school careers. I think they just chose not to play. I think you said this. They chose not to play in college.
Yeah,
but it's just different. I don't see sometimes when I see the statement they make, it just doesn't translate. Because like I said with Austin Rivers. Did you grow up playing football? Because you grew up playing football, then I understand the statement. If you played football in high school, I understand the statement. There's a lot of kids, like I think Keon Coleman, who played for the Bills, was a two sport athlete.
Yeah,
he had scholarships at Michigan State in football and basketball.
Yeah,
there's guys like Charlie Ward.
Yeah,
I will play all 3 at elite level. Yeah. And beyond Charlie Ward, other players, it's translating different players. But did you do it?
Exactly.
Like, you at Duke playing football and basketball, right? That's the difference, man. Like that's why I don't understand. Like to make that statement means you were doing it. So for you to say, I know 30 players, I can come in football. Were you growing up doing it? That's the difference. Were you growing up doing it? Oh, you flopped.
Yeah, 30 people is a lot, though.
And I don't even touch no football. He ain't touch no football field.
30 NBA players that can go play in the league, dog. Ain't no way.
No, there's no way. Like there's guys who played. Like there's been what's the name that played Barnes, Mark Barnes, who played high school. He was like an All-American. He was one of the best players. Yeah, Matt Barnes. But he went to UCLA played basketball.
Played basketball, yeah.
A lot of it's far and few between. Your most aggressive player that you have problems with, Draymond. I say Draymond quit. You out there at Michigan State and quit.
Like outside of Charlie Ward, bro, who else played at a high level? Both. Like Charlie Ward, the starting point guard for Florida State, the quarterback for Florida State. Like, other than him, like who else?
We're talking about football or basketball?
Football and basketball, like kind of this analogy. Yeah, Gates, like with Jimmy Graham, he plays 1 year in Miami.
Well, the dude from North Carolina, but he went to the boy from but he didn't make it to the league. He went to the Canadian League. Darian Durant, they were Durant.
Ronald Curry.
Ronald Curry. That's what I meant to say. Ronald Curry.
Outside of Charlie Ward, you can't even make no analogy of somebody being successful in the NBA and NFL. I don't see it, bro.
But what's his name? They play in the NFL though.
Who?
Charlie Ward.
Yeah, Charlie Ward played in the NFL.
Oh, well, just in Florida State, just at both at a college level. But Other than that, like
there's been others. I mean, maybe not great. I mean, Dante McNabb played at Syracuse.
Yeah, like he came off the bench.
My man played for North Carolina.
Even Junior Peppers, like
Junior Peppers played in North Carolina.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like you said Ronald Carey, but it wasn't. You're right in this sense. It's just not. We're trying to make it seem. They're trying to make it seem like it's just like those guys were superstars there.
Yeah, they automatic. It's automatic.
Next sport and with superstars there too, which isn't true. Right? Like, you know, they try to use Suggs from Orlando Magic.
Yeah.
But Suggs, he had scholarships, but Suggs also played at like a small school. Like, I think it was like a private school. It's not like you just don't see it all the time because most basketball players, because you can tell by their build, they end up having to start playing basketball at a young age, and they're very thin body frame wise. So they're not putting on muscle, they're not worried about the other sports. And I was like, and I think that's what they're trying to define is that when you go to these other sports, man, you gotta, when you play baseball, first of all, they always say baseball players are supposed to be the best athletes. And like people don't want to admit it. They actually say baseball players are the best athletes because you got to hit a ball that comes at you 90 miles per hour. And you normally look at a baseball player's background, they tend to be very good at other sports. Like, so they just play baseball. But it's just like I don't like when you listen to one of these guys and what they're saying, I'm like, you also got to add in the physicality of the sport. And football is super physical. Are you able to deal with that physical nature of the sport? And you can't take Draymond bumping you.
Yeah,
if you can't take Draymond bumping you, you ain't physical.
Nah, you ain't taking them pads.
Who cares if you can jump high? You ain't trying to jump high when somebody about to go up under your legs.
Exactly. Oh, you go across the middle and that linebacker sitting there waiting on you to come. Quarterback done threw you out the dry.
It's a lot of, but I don't think people realize a lot of basketball players who are really good in football. A lot of football players are really good at basketball, but they play multiple sports, or when they get to college, like Ray just said, they focus on that sport.
Yep.
It's very rare. I told you guys, I think I was talking to somebody like, I like AJ, what's the dude name for AJ Brown played baseball at Mississippi State and was good at football. He was, not Mississippi State, Ole Miss. And dude was like a top-rated baseball player. He could have went and played baseball. Yeah. But he chose to play football. So it just, you got to know what you're talking about. And everybody trying to listen to that boy. Hey, did you hear James Jones?
Yeah, he went off on that boy.
He went off on. He told me if my daddy was in the NBA,
I'll be a top 10 pick too.
Top pick too. Like it just doesn't. I know it touched a nerve, but people just don't realize like it ain't that easy. That sport is hard to take, and it ain't that easy. Most time, only difference is most football players are just as athletic as a basketball player. They're just not tall.
Yeah.
The height challenge is there, but they're just as athletic. They can jump. I probably say, but most receivers probably could play guard in the NBA. They just because of the fact they're known around 6'1", 6'2", with height, and they can run, and they're really quick. So I don't know. We'll I guess that discussion will continue till we see somebody who can play both.
Yes, sir.
When that finally happens, we'll see. I don't think it happens because I think the sport goes into each other. But we've seen somebody play football and baseball, right? So we know that can be done.
That's good.
Yep. So we'll see, man. I don't know. That's our thoughts on it. All right, man. Any more discussion y'all want to talk about before we get out of here?
We out, baby.
We out.
All right, Ray, man. So, one thing I want to do before I get out of here, man, I just want to give all prayers to a fallen Hornet. Somebody just passed away yesterday, man. Corey Homicide Williams, NYC basketball legend, street ball. Been doing a great job in Australia, working with the MLB. I think it's NBL. Just passed away yesterday of colon cancer. So, man, and he used to be a former Alabama State Hornet, an alum. So, shout out to him. So, rest in heaven to him. All praise to him and his family. And you know, man, I hate to hear that happened. I know he's been dealing with the cancer. I think he had stage 4.
Oh wow!
For a while, he was fighting through it, but just the fight, and he just gave out. So just want to once again say, saying all praise to him and his family before we get out of here.
Yeah, man. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. My mom, my aunts, my wife, all my family and friends, man. Happy Mother's Day tomorrow.
Where you taking her?
We're going to Ted's Bully Bar on 19th Street. Got one of the best brunches around, bro.
Okay.
They brunch official. They high as a kite.
You already know.
Selling some water on Pennsylvania Avenue or something.
Hey, yeah, you already know Mother's Day. They raise the price on everybody around this joint. Dad, you got to go out there on the grill. The Father's Day, you got to be out there on the grill. But yeah, happy Mother's Day to my wife, my mom, my mother-in-law, all the other moms who are out there, going on doing through their daily life. Great show. Let's keep it moving.
Yeah, man. Happy Mother's Day to my mother, to my aunts, my stepmom, all the women out there. All the women in my life, definitely. All of them, cousins, fam, sis, everybody, you know what I mean? Enjoy tomorrow. Hey, break them. Take them for all he's worth. Light them up. Make it, hey, matter of fact, make them take an Uber so you can get lit.
Look, I need to take an Uber for real.
You know what I mean?
All these emotions.
You know what I mean? So let them make them take an Uber so y'all can get lit. I added up. Get 3 or 4 bottles of champagne.
Oh wow!
Easy. Is it all inclusive? Is it an all inclusive meal?
Yeah.
Oh, you lucky.
Yeah, he lucky.
Hey, I think that joint like $75 a person.
You all right?
Person?
Hey, bro.
That ain't that much. I guess you add the other 2 bodies in there. I guess that's more.
You have my mom's in there.
You gotta have the other 2 bodies in there, huh? They ain't
gotta have mama in there.
Your mom up here?
Yeah.
I ain't know she was there.
She came for grandparents there at the kids' school yesterday.
Oh man,
okay.
What's up?
Yeah.
That's another 100.
Mama Butler, yo. Hey, Mama Butler, order whatever you want. Order whatever you want. I don't care if it's a buffet. Get additional.
Hey, Ray, you can't get no haircut this week, bro.
Well, I ain't going nowhere.
You don't work for no haircut anyway.
I can't go on Nike and Jordan 25% off on them Jordans, dog. I can't do it.
Hey, I guess he won't be posting no picture of his sneakers, no video of his sneakers this week. Ooh, I don't know who the dude name is. You're killing it. Yeah, you're killing it. You're going to be killing them bottom of the money. You ain't got no money.
I'm going to have to wear some hand-me-downs.
Yo, man.
Oh, man.
We buying those sneakers this week.
Thanks. I can't.
Oh, man.
I save my money.
I say, yo, man, happy Mother's Day. I can't believe she.
For sure.
We'll do.
All right, Ray, get us out of here.
Get out of here, bro.
We talking about what we talking about. I can do this all day. What we talking about? What we talking about? What we talking about? I ain't feeling what you saying. What we talking about? From time to time, every set of brothers argue. You gotta listen in to catch a glimpse here.
I'd stop it. Stop the recording.
For sure.
Hey, bro. What's up with Lamont fight? You doing that, or we trying to get the big 3 joint? Got that meet and greet that night?
Yeah, I'm checking the dude tripping. I hit him up the other day. He was supposed to hit me back, so I'm still waiting for him to hit me back.
Yeah, because Lamont fight that Friday.